Welcome back. Let's now look at the data manipulation language in the SQL statements, which is popularly known as DMLs. So if you want to add a row in a table, popularly you'll be using an insert statement. Whenever a record is to be added in a table, you issue insert statement. And then if you want to, during the course of a business process, particularly just an example I'm giving, in an order status, that is the customer order status, initially maybe it is in the book status, but then it can be, once the goods are shipped across, it will be in ship status. And similarly, if the employee is transferred from department A to a department B, then corresponding employee data need to be updated. So issue an update statement those times. And then sometimes you might need to delete a row. A particular row is not true, you need to be deleted. Then you issue a delete statement. And there is also a truncate statement. The difference, functionality wise, delete and truncate are same. It is going to delete a row. Truncate is also going to do. But there is a difference, and this difference, probably when you take up an interview in SQL, this is a common question. What's the difference between a delete and truncate? So when the session closes in the sense when you open the SQL or during your programming, you delete a statement and you come out of it, that time a commit is issued to the database. Till the time commit in the sense it is a kind of saying it is permanent, and delete is permanent, then you do a commit. In case of truncate, you don't issue a commit statement. So that's the difference. So that's what is a database, and that's called the database transaction control. It's called TCL. It is also called as TCL statement: commit, rollback, and save point. Rollback is after delete, you can roll back, but after truncate, you cannot issue a rollback. So that's about the DML. If you look at the syntax, insert into the table, column name. When you, the entire row you want to insert, you just specify the values. Only if you want to insert specific columns, then you add up those columns. And you need to be careful about different constraint, not null constraint, primary key you need to be careful of. So if you have a column not null, and if you're not including that column in the insert statement, naturally it's going to throw an error because it is expecting a value for that specific row, and if the value is not there, it's going to throw an error there. So that's about the insert. So insert into, this is an example, and all this are there in the resources section. You can download and practice. So one thing you need to note is optional list of column in the insert clause. So you may have it or you may not have it. If you're giving all the column values, you don't need to specify these column name. Only if you want to have insert values in specific columns, then you specify the column names over here. Insert into the department ID, department name, manager ID, location ID. And as I said, you need to be careful about the not null fields and the unique fields and the primary keys. You need to be careful of. Similarly, you can copy a specific from a table, you can copy it into another table. So you need to have, first you need to have the table created, and then you can issue insert. So in this case, it is going to insert all the columns where the job ID is something like REPs. So this is for copying, and then you have the update. If you look at it, and this is an ideal condition I was discussing. Say for example, an employee ID is transferred to a different department. Just as an example, he's in a department named 90, and then he's moved into department 50. Then you issue the update statement, set department ID 50, where employee ID is 113. That means whatever is his earlier department, that gets overwritten with a department ID of 50. And then update column where salary match with those of employee 205. So select job ID and salary from, so whatever is the employee ID 205 is there. Same thing, the job ID salary is going to get updated for employee ID 103. So job wise and salary wise, this statement will have same value similar to 205. That is, employee 103 will have the same job ID and salary of 205. So that's about the update employee job 103 with salary matched to those of employee 205. And delete. So delete from the table, you remove it. You can still have a var class inside the delete. So then you issue the delete statement, and then you have the truncate statement also removes, leaving the table empty. So it's a data definition language. You can consider as a data definition language. You cannot say cannot be easily undone. Once you issue a truncate statement, it's said to be permanent in the table. So cannot be done easily in the sense unless you want to, I mean, from your database backup, you have to retrieve the database backup. So that is only option after you issue the truncate statement. Whereas the delete statement, till you commit or when until the session closes, you can still do a rollback in case of the delete statement. In case of truncate, it gets committed as soon as you issue the truncate table statement. So that's about in brief about the TML. We'll quickly get into some of the hands-on as well. Thank you. Let's now get into the hands. So the first one is of course the insert into this is the schema. DB user is the schema, and as I said, other users, these are the schema, and under each of the schema you have the tables, views, and all these are objects. We'll see that in the data dictionary. I just thought I need to keep stressing about schemas towards better understanding. So let's execute this. I hope yeah, it has got inserted. One row is inserted. Now if you issue a select statement, select star from db user dot oehr underscore departments. So we have to see whether 75 is there. So yeah, 75 is inserted with public because 70 is already there. This is just an another record of similar to 70. So you already have public relations too. That is what we have inserted. Let's now look at the another data manipulation. In fact, it includes the data definition as well. So what's happening is it's creating a table as select star from. So you are issuing a select statement and then creating a table. So it will be a similar table, similar to OEHR employee. All the fields are going to be the same. So only thing is it selects the job ID. Whoever has you have a wildcard over here. Whoever has REP, job ID has REP. It is going to select those records and create a table. Otherwise, another way, if you're looking only for the data manipulation, then you could do, you need to create a table similar to OEHR employees and then insert into that table as select. That is what we saw in the presentation. But here we are creating a table as well as inserting the data as well. So let's, so this is created. So you have the table as well. So you could do a refresh also, and then go over here and go to that table. So OE sales, yeah, here is the data, here is the column. So if you look at it, the column is going to be similar to what is there in the employees table. So you'll have all the only difference is the data is related to you see the job ID is all SA rep because we had the filtering condition is just on the rep. So that's where you have sales rep data alone, and we have created, of course, the table name itself is sales rep. Let's now issue an update command. Update employee ID. As I said, if the employee is going to get transferred, then you do an update. So one row is update, so which means the employee ID. If you issue a select now on OEHR employee and check the employee ID 113, his department would be 50. So I'm not getting into that. Now let's do a delete. Delete from OEHR. We can do a sales rep. OEHR DB user dot OEHR sales reps. All the 33 rows are deleted. So, I mean, it is still not committed to the database. Ideally, you should do a commit. Once you do a commit, then the data gets, you need to just say commit, then execute. Or if you roll back, you can do a rollback, which means the data is not deleted. So let me say commit. So that means all the deletes would have got committed. So that is the, or you could issue a truncate statement, which means commit is not required. So that's about the DML statements. That is the simplest version. You can try it out in different ways. You can use the var class. As I said, as I keep saying, the practice of SQL statement makes you perfect. Thank you and cheers.